Yeah. Lil Brunson back at you with the back at you, and I am the best reporting on the Eagles. Shout out to Big Manscaped. They in the building, man, for this playoff weekend, man. Manscaped, go to Manscaped, use code Brunson, save 20% off, get the free shipping, and the free shipping I fought for that for y'all. Listen, man, I did a little digging around, man. I've been watching the ops, man. We got a playoff game coming up, and this is, kind of like a before the keys to victory that's coming out tomorrow. This is what we're gonna call this op watch. I've been watching them, and I've been thinking about this matchup in the sense that this isn't the same. This isn't the same from week 6. You know what I mean? Things have changed for both football teams since week 6. Week 6, we were a team where people were laughing at us for not running the ball. You know what I'm saying? And now we're a team that, presents the biggest challenge of stopping the run for anybody in these playoffs. But if there's one team that can stop the run, it's definitely the Bucs, man. The Bucs, I think they've got the 3rd best run defense. So this game is going to challenge us on every aspect of the game. Every aspect of the game. Because what if the run doesn't work? We haven't been faced with a concern like that going into these last couple weeks because, to be quite honest, there was not a opposing threat to stopping our run for real. Think about it. We had the best offensive line hands down over every defensive line we played. You know what I mean? Including Dallas for real. But the game plan was different. We had more of a game against Dallas to evaluate guys that played. But when we played the Bucs had Barrett. The Bucs had Lavonte David. Lavonte David is the 2nd leading tackler on that team. And Barrett is, I think, like the 5th. It's 51 tackles or something like that on the year. Even though he missed a couple weeks with a knee injury. Barrett was a free rusher almost every down, if y'all can remember. A free rusher almost every passing down we had. And we were in the position that we were in to just throw the ball way too much. That's the type of football that we play. Now, granted, I think if we threw the ball that many times, I think it'll work out a little better because Jalen Hurts has settled in until, a passer. He's been making some great throws. But that's never the good game plan for a young quarterback. We definitely can't revert back to that. So I say that to say this, man. Being as though we know who we are and we know the differences now between these two teams, some more differences is, one thing that happened in the first meeting was Leonard Fournette ran the ball for 80 plus yards and 2 touchdowns. And he had 46 receiving yards. That just can't happen. Leonard Fournette really wrecked the game for us. And he only on like 17 carries. He really wrecked the game for us, man. And we couldn't, stop Leonard Fournette. Then Antonio Brown was the leading wide receiver. He's no longer there. Chris Godwin was the 2nd leading. He's no longer there. That's a very different football team. Fournette ain't playing a couple weeks now, right? Coming off an injury. You know what I'm saying? They're guys who are like responsible for clogging those lanes and chasing down Jalen Hurts. They coming off an injury. It's a rust factor. It's so much things that can play into our favor going into this week. And there's so many things to be concerned about as well because, listen, we're a running football team. What happens when you stop a running football team? You're going to need a quarterback. You know what I mean? What happens if the run game have an off game? Carson Wentz is the perfect example. They were riding Jonathan Taylor for weeks. Hey, the Jaguars said, we know how they've been winning. Let's stop down their first source and put it in the hands of the quarterback. Now, I think Jalen Hurts will rise to the occasion more of what we've seen from Carson Wentz because Jalen Hurts has an additional skill set that he can rely on. He can take off and still get positive yardage. But we still going to need a plan B if these guys shut down the run. They're very capable of shutting down the run. So the bottom line is, we're going to have to be able to make plays with the throwing game. We're going to have to be able to do it. And, I think the coaching staff kind of, understands that that's how this is going to have to go. That, some plays are going to have to be made. The game plan, you can't have one game plan going into this. You got to understand that this is a playoff team. This is the Buccaneers. They are a very talented team, defending Super Bowl champions. You got to take chances in this game as well, too. That goes for the offensive side of the ball, and that also goes for the defensive side of the ball. When defenses take chances, that usually results in blitzes. We've been doing it a little more, but it's been against inferior quarterbacks. Now, I'm glad we've been doing it against those type of quarterbacks, so we can get it down pat. So there could be no blown coverage, so people don't know if they blitzing or, I'm glad we have practice running it. You know what I mean? I don't want calling blitzes to be a totally foreign thing to us at this stage in the season. We've run blitzes against bad teams. All we got to do is we did against the bad teams. Hopefully you get the same result. You know what I mean? Repetitions. So I'm glad we were able to switch some things up, and now we're okay with disguises. We've done that against some of these bad teams that we played as of late, but we've been just in our bag. And you got to be in that mind state to be able to go in different bags in the playoffs. You got to. You know what I mean? On every second and one, I'm thinking take a shot. You got to take your shots. You got to take your shots. You cannot go into this conservative. The season is on the line. The season is on the line. You know what I mean? And if they can't stop the run, and if you smell blood, use it to your advantage, because they're going to start bringing guys down. You know what I mean? This is a tricky game, man. You know what I mean? We're not talking keys to victory. We're just talking, the two differences between these two teams. And then when you even go down further, the Philadelphia Eagles got to take advantage of everything that they have, whether it's the health. We are the healthier football team. We are the hotter football team. You know what I mean? Whether it's the health or whatever you may call it, man. We got to take care of everything that's going on with this team if you want to win. We can't leave no stones unturned. You know what I mean? This is a business deal. This is business. It's all business. It ain't personal. We got to go in there and try to blow the brakes off them, because that'll be the upset. Probably the upset of the year. Probably the upset of the year if we knock off Tom Brady in the playoffs. But, with all that being said, the Philadelphia Eagles aren't the same team. They are not the same team. In a way, we've been a little battle tested. You know what I mean? We've had it look like our season ended before. You know what I mean? We have an identity. All we have to do is not get away from our identity. We know what our identity is. Even if you're not getting the amount of yardage that you would think you're supposed to get, running the ball still sets up major things for this team. We don't need any turnovers. We don't even need any crazy penalties. Even though, for real, I really want this game, because this is one of them revenge games for me, for real. Because last time we played them, they had the flag that went against Avery. I didn't like that call at all. That was a bad call. We were only down 6 points with 5 minutes left, and we was about to score that ball. The way the whole tide of that game had changed. We was at home. We was about to score that ball. You know what I mean? Them Philly fans start getting at Brady. Brady don't like that. We was about to score that ball, man. You know what I mean? And, we all know what happened with that. So, I just want a clean game. If we're going to go out, I want to go out on my shield. If we're going to win, I want to win honorably. Let me know what you think in the comments.